something new. I don't think there's any videos on this yet. If there is, I couldn't find any. This is Oak Street Bootmakers. This is the Longshore. Yeah, the Longshore jump boot. Right. It has a single piece backstay here. Very sleek boot, very service boot-esque type of thing. No straps here, no pull loops. I seen in an interview the owner doesn't like pull loops for any boots. I think they're I like them. This leather is called Badalassi Carlo is the brand. And this type is Minerva. Some kind of brown. Maybe it's called like cognac or something. You could see it's kind of pebbled. It's a very grainy type of leather. There's also something else this is called, Vachatta or something like that. Vachatta. But yeah, when I looked into it, it looks like it's Badalassi Minerva. So we have waxed cotton laces, all eyelets. So it has a very dress look to it. Ornament toe cap, which I like. I've worn it a few times thus far, not too much. Try to use some shoe trees, getting a little bit of creasing, but because of the pebbling, I think, it goes kind of subtle. You don't really notice it too much. This is a 360 degree Goodyear welt on this boot. This is an interesting bit here. These little brass pieces, kind of different looking. And then you'll notice the stitching. It's two real close, and then a spaced third. These some very fine stitching. Cute. See what? Let me see. The staining is a little different on this part of the block as opposed to the midsole here. It's a very... I don't know if that's supposed to be completely straight or what, but it looks like a pretty straight 90 degree block heel. Maybe it's got a little bit of a taper to it, I think. So, yeah, the ornament toe, brown, Badalassi, service boot, checking a lot of boxes for me. Now this was one of the highlights. So I got size 9, which is true to size. Sneakers, maybe wear like a 9.5, but boots generally wear 9. Unless it's like a PNW or something, then we're looking at 8.5D. This is a 9D. I think they only do D width. May be able to get E on request, I don't know. It's lined inside. Very nice glove lining. I think it's supposed to be calf lining. It's a thin leather though, compared to like a PNW boot. Inside, you can see there is a half sock liner. Now, it goes about the same distance as the about the same distance as like the Vibram or even my White's Division Road. So so anyhow, back to this. We have a Dr. Soles half sole. Okay, you notice the D is backwards. I never realized that before. So this is called the Super Grip. Dr. Soles, there's a lot of variations of Dr. Soles. It's like, I think they're made in the Philippines or Malaysia or something, or maybe it's Indonesia or whatever. Yeah, I know it's a foreign company that's into heritage stuff that does Dr. Souls. They're supposed to be really good, supposedly better than Viberg, so I was very curious to try them. And you'll notice these caps, right, are gray. They also, they're very common to not be gray. Usually they're like this gold color up here, like a yellow gold look. These ones are gray. Some of them are gray. I don't know. Speaking of this heel, this rubber heel, this is Cat's Paw, which is a super old company. This is dead stock, meaning they don't make it anymore. They managed to find a bunch that were left over from years ago and put them to use. Cat's Paw was bought out by Biltrite, which also made rubber soles, and then Biltrite was bought by Vibram, which is on most P&W boots. So I really like the graphic and the history behind Cat's Paw, so I thought that was really cool. And Dr. Soul, I mean, I really was curious about how both these were, and so far I'm liking it better than any other sole. I mean, I do like the V-bar a lot from Vibram, but the silhouette of this boot is really nice. It's very thin waist to it, but one of the things I like the best is this toe cap. It's very low profile. It doesn't feel super low when you're wearing it, but like there's plenty of room. As long as you have a thin foot, but you have plenty of room, but it's super sloped, like very low profile. Doesn't jut up too much like a bump toe would. So pretty classy look there. Problems I had. So I mean, for being a dress boot kind of vibe, the quality control wasn't all that hot. There's stuff here. There was a lot of frayed threads around that I had to try to do away with. There was also, can't see it much on this one. Maybe on this one you can more. Oh, so this came with it. I don't know if that's in the boot naturally in the hide. I don't think it is. I can't really tell. There's this here. Now mind you, I only wore these like twice. So, where else did we want to show you? Okay, up in here. See that? To me, it looks like they had this down, glued it, and then moved it up. And the glue mark is still there. He said that's not what it's from. Whoever, Alex, his name was, a customer service guy I emailed. And he said he asked around the company to find out what this was about. And he gave me some, I don't know if it was a bullshit answer or what, but he said it's like a marking from a marker for where they know where to place it or something, and that it's like a chalk or that it's supposed to come off. It's not gonna come off. So, I should have got told, we'll take them back, or we'll send you different ones, or give you a discount, or give some of the money back. This gouge here, I think that was there when I got it too. I don't think I put that there. Now some of those markings came off a little bit, but yeah, like I got it off of that side. This side, you can see it up there just a little bit. It's not too bad. I mean, I'm not expecting perfection, but I think with discount codes, like this was $500, made in the USA, out of Chicago. So yeah, apparently they're right near Horween. Most of the Oak Street Bootmakers stuff is Outsole. I think like a year ago, they started doing Badalassi, and they have a few other types of leathers in, but it's pretty much what they go with a lot is Outsole, being their relationship with Horween. Here's the box that it came in. Here we see Horween, Chicago, USA, like this. And then inside, there's the box. You can see really faintly, there is a stamped Oak Street Bootmakers thing right there. Okay, pretty plain looking blue box, like a navy color. Here is the Vachatta, it's called. Yeah, they say true to size for this. Some of the stuff they have, it says size half down or full down, but not this. So it came with some shoe bags, boot bags. They're pretty nice. This paper, that was it, and the receipt. So not much going on there. Not much for extras. I feel like I've seen their stuff with extras, not this one. It has like a distinct, like almost plasticky smell. I swear to God, it almost smells like a friggin' shower curtain. I think it's whatever glues that they use for these. Yeah, it has like a plasticky shower curtain smell, which is not appealing. I don't know if that's... doesn't smell all that leathery, like... or maybe that's just how Badalassi is. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really smell like natural, like veg tan or leather would smell, so... I don't know what that's about. I love how this is like skived in. This half sole. You see these little holes here? Each one of these little holes is meant for a nail, a clinch nail for the boot. On the, you know, popular, maybe on like a Westco, you'll actually see them take the time to nail and, you know, make use of these things, but not Oak Street, which is kind of lame. But I guess it'll be easier down the road if they need to resole it. Oh, this is like something they were talking about in Brothers and Boots. Whether, excuse me, like a 270 degree stitch down, if it would go all the way through, or a 180 degree stitch down would stop and it would leave the half sole plain for looks. But I mean, this is neither. This is a 360 degree Goodyear welt, so it's a little different. But yeah, I like the natural heel color. Pretty nice there. Despite how snug this feels on foot, I can really tighten these up significantly, and it gives a real dress vibe when I do that. Now, I kind of got this leather like for casual. I mean, it's not like a high polish, you know, glossy looking leather, but so it's going to be somewhere in between that, like service boot casual dress type thing. This leather, I don't know if it takes to waxing very well, or to polishing or conditioning. I believe I put Venetian on here, and it's still a little foggy and white. You can see it in there. So I brushed the hell out of it. Some spots where I brushed it, where if it was, the leather was stretched a lot over there, over that part, it's not as grainy. It's not grainy throughout. Some parts are a little like smoothed out. I don't know if some of that's from me or natural or intentional, but for example, the toe caps don't have as much grain as, like, you know, this quarter up here, inner quarter. So kind of a interesting thing going on there. The tongue was pretty thin. I don't know, I guess it stays in place pretty good. I mean, I could tighten them down pretty well, so this is also a 9. Here is a Cordovan Allen Edmonds Dalton size 9. Sorry. You could see that the Oak Street's actually longer for whatever reason. Well, if I put this heel down properly, no, I mean, it's still a little longer, so it's kind of weird. This one fits me very well. This is like, you may as well be wearing a glove or a sock or something. Here would be an MP. This MP is an 8.5. So it's kind of weird because it looks longer. It looks so much longer. And yet, it's just a very narrow last, so it doesn't feel that long. On foot, I guess because it's a very straight on almond shape, it doesn't curve much. Because on foot, the whites feels longer for some bizarre reason. I guess they're about neck and neck. Strange. Alright, here's 2 9s, a Wesco. There's counters lined up a bit. And yeah. They're pretty close. I think the Wesco is a little bigger. You can see how low that heel is. Like up against this 50-50 last, so it's a very low profile heel. I would say this is our best comparison against a Vibram, or I mean against a Viberg. So they're basically on par. It's funny, you get a lot more height out of the rubber heel on the Oak Street though. See, I mean, these look pretty similar if you think about it. Yeah, I mean, they both have that like cut straight across type. I guess these are what, a 5-inch, and even the toe. I mean, all eyelets. Trying to guess the weight. I feel like they're pretty close weight-wise. Actually, I don't know. This might even be way more. I think they both have steel shanks, though. Maybe Viberg is a leather shank. I don't think it is. I think they're both steel. So you can get an idea of the last shape. Yeah, so you can see the Lakeshore jump boot is just a very straight on boot. It doesn't curve, it doesn't hook very much like an Alden would. But otherwise, they have a lot of similarity. Yeah, so if you didn't want to fork out the money for a Viberg, or get a used one, Oak Street offers a lot of similarities. I mean, the edging is very smooth. They did that well, and yet it has like a pretty natural kind of finish to it. I mean, the rubber sole takes up a lot of the edge here, but it's pretty smooth. Oddly enough, from the bottom though, how weird is that? From the bottom, it looks like very anatomical. Like it really comes over more than the Viberg. And then you flip it around, and it doesn't really look that way as much. That is the Longshore jump boot in Badalassi. USA made, and a little more on the dressy side. I was curious about something like this, or Parkhurst, or I mean, I really didn't want to Grant Stone. I mean, I do like a couple Grant Stone models, but I like that this was US made still. And yeah, I think it's a very attractive boot. I really like the toe cap, ornament toe. And yeah, I mean, what other brands are like this? I'm trying to think. Yeah, Parkhurst is the first one that comes to mind. But there's a couple more. I mean, Bootlassi Tech, he does a lot of service boots like this. So does Dale. Truman. Truman is another company. Well, Truman stuff's a little beefier looking. Wolverine 1000 Mile. It's kind of like in this vein. Heritage boot. More so. A little more rugged, but you know. And then Alden has some makes that are like this a bit. So. Okay, side note real quick. Alright, so this is all leather, right? It's leather midsole, leather heel, leather upper, leather whatever. Counter is, I don't know, pretty non-existent. No, it's there. I feel it. Feels hard. And I'm pretty sure it's leather. Okay. Whereas this, Allen Edmond, and like Alden, Allen Edmonds uses, so this is leather, right? But I'm pretty sure they use leather board, fiber board, aka cardboard, for the midsole. And that's supposed to be a cheaper component, wears out faster. You know, it's not good, right? But I'm pretty sure that's why it's so comfortable and so lightweight. So I think they're aiming for comfort more than longevity and reliability and, you know, having a lifelong boot. I think their goal is to just make something really comfortable dress-wise. I mean, this feels like a slipper. Whereas a P&W boot is just, it's apples to oranges. One's more rugged and, you know, meant to last, whereas this is just meant to be stylish and comfortable above all. So but yeah, I didn't quite get this whole leather board thing. I mean, it's almost like it feels like a cheaper wood or something, like it's made of, yeah, I don't know, but oh, look at that, that's not good. But yeah, it's very interesting, the difference between them. And I like it just as much. It's just a different kind of thing. And that has to be mentioned for. Alright, that's everything. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye.